Cody Rhodes to have one more match against former WWE Champion before WrestleMania. Says Analystcody Rhodes is set to defend his undisputed WWE Championship against the men's Elimination Chamber winner at WrestleMania. Meanwhile, WWE analyst Sam Roberts claimed the American Nightmare would have one more match against a former rival ahead of the show of shows after taking over the Bloodline. Solo Sekoa targeted Rhodes so he could bring the undisputed WWE title back to his family. However, the former NXT North American champion failed to accomplish the mission on 2 occasions. About a week ago, he returned after a few weeks of absence to attack the American Nightmare. The two brawled again last Friday on Smackdown. Speaking on his Not Sam Wrestling podcast, Roberts suggested Sekoa and Rhodes may have another match before this year's showcase of the Immortals. I think Cody Rhodes and Solo Sikoa have one more match before WrestleMania, he said. The Raw Talk host added that Sekoa could lose to Rhodes while Jacob FaU beats Braun Strowman in another singles match before the two cousins finally collide after the Jacob vs. Braun match, which is a victory for Jacob, and after the Cody vs. Solo match, which is a victory for Cody. Now I think is where the Jacob and Solo trains start to collide against each other. Ex-WWE employee thinks Cody Rhodes vs. Solo Sikoa would happen at Elimination Chamber. Speaking on the Coach and Bro Show, former WWE employee Tommy Carlochi addressed the return of Solo Sikoa on SmackDown to attack Cody Rhodes. He claimed it would lead to another clash between the two superstars. Carlochi, who spent over 30 years in the Stanford-based company, predicted that the former NXT North American champion would square off with the American Nightmare at Elimination Chamber on March 1 SD. Solo came back, beat up Cody Rhodes, which I think is going to lead to a match at Elimination Chamber. That's my own opinion. He said 3 matches have already been announced for the Elimination Chamber Premium Live event. It would be interesting to see if Sekoa would indeed get another shot at Rhodes in Toronto. Cody Rhodes set for major bloodline twist at WrestleMania 41. Says Rikishi WWE legend Rikishi recently gave his thoughts on a possible major twist in the bloodline storyline involving Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 41. The American Nightmare is once again involved in a feud with the Bloodline done on the February 7th, 2025 edition of Friday Night SmackDown. Cody Rhodes teamed up with Ji Osu to lock horns with Jacob Fato and Tonga, which ultimately ended in the American Nightmare and the Yeet Master's favor. However, before the show ended, Solo Sikoa made his surprise return to take Rhodes out with a Samoan spike. This was Sikoa's second appearance since his loss to Roman Reigns on Raw's Netflix debut in January. During a recent edition of the Rikishi Fato Off the Top podcast, the WWE Hall of Famer talked about his son, Solo Sikoa's massive return. The Samoan stinker said that he believed that Sekoa had some unfinished business with Cody Rhodes. Rikishi also mentioned a major bloodline twist where Solo Sikoa and Cody Rhodes could start a feud once again, and it could culminate at WrestleMania 41. Well, it sounds like Solo's got some unfinished business with Cody Rhodes. You know, all things lead to WrestleMania, and I feel like it's a good time for Solo to come back. Now what's to happen? I'm sure there's got to be some type of receipt or drama between Cody and Solo, but we'll see how that goes, he said. Although Rikishi talked about a potential clash between Cody Rhodes and Solo Sikoa at WrestleMania 41, it seems highly unlikely as Sikoa has not qualified for the Elimination Chamber match. Currently, 5 names have qualified for the event, including CM Punk, John Cena, Damian Priest, Logan Paul, and Drew McIntyre. The 6th man will be revealed on the upcoming edition of Raw, where Seth Rollins is set to face Finn Balor. It will be interesting to see who will win the chamber to challenge Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship at this year's show of shows. Former WWE writer believes Solo Sikoa will feud with his Bloodline teammate Jacob Fato. Tensions have been rising between the Bloodline since Solo Sikoa lost the Ula Fala to Roman Reigns on Raw's Netflix debut. During a recent podcast on Behind the Turnbuckle Studios YouTube channel, former WWE writer Vince Rousseau said that he believed the Triple H-led creative team would book a feud between Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fato, similar to what the company did with Reigns and Sikoa. They're going to run the same Solo Fato play that they ran with Roman and Solo. They're going to run the same exact play where now Solo is going to be the babyface because that's what they do. He said that it remains to be seen what the Stanford-based promotion has planned for the Bloodline storyline going forward. John Cena, not challenging Cody Rhodes for the title at WWE Wrestlemania 41? Exploring the past. Jacob Fato is the right Samoan to dethrone WWE Champion Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes has had to deal with bloodline members throughout his pursuit and eventual reign with the WWE Championship, getting the better of the legendary stable more often than not. After conquering the tribal chief Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40, Solo Seekoa stepped up to try and reclaim the belt for his faction throughout last year, which he ultimately failed to do, with Ji Osu choosing to face Gunther at WrestleMania 41. Cody only has one Samoan threat remaining in Jacob Fato. WWE should not undervalue what they have with the newest member of the bloodline, as he could well be the right person to dethrone the American Nightmare as WWE Champion. That WWE was right to be optimistic about Solo Sikoa's main event prospects after WrestleMania 40, as the former had played his part in the Bloodline saga very well. The leader of the new Bloodline fashioned his own group, as he and the former Guerrillas of Destiny ran roughshod over Smackdown. Of course, the new Bloodline was not complete until Jacob Fato entered the fold, immediately being set up as a potential threat to Cody Rhodes somewhere down the line. With his monster by his side, Solo slowly developed into a credible threat to the WWE Champion in the fiction, but failed to deliver on his promise with poor in-ring performances. He faced Rhodes for the title at SummerSlam in a match that displayed his limitations inside the ring, whilst also showing that he was not quite ready for the main event. Solo has improved as a character throughout the past year, but it may take some more work to make him a credible world champion within WWE. Sekoa seems to be restarting his feud with Cody, having attacked him on SmackDown this past weekend. But this should only be followed through on to allow Jacob Fato into the champion's orbit. Jacob Fato does have a chance to face Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania, should he qualify for the Elimination Chamber on SmackDown. However, Triple H likely has other plans for the Bloodline's enforcer, who is currently embroiled in a feud with Braun Strowman on the Blue brand. This rivalry may rumble on until April, when Cody faces another opponent for his title, be it CM Punk, John Cena, or someone else entirely. However, there are no other challengers to Rhodes with as much momentum behind them as Jacob Fato, which is why WWE should consider having the WWE Champion retain at the Showcase of the Immortals. If Cody Rhodes were to retain the title at WrestleMania, only to lose it soon after to a rip-roaring Jacob Fato, WWE could produce one of the most impactful title changes of the decade. If the company were feeling brave about it, they could have Cody lose the title in a manner similar to how he dropped the TNT Championship to Brody Lee in AEW, as that would be a beautiful piece of symmetry that would only serve to get Fato over. Even further, pitching for Jacob Fato to squash Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship may seem a bit far-fetched, but the promotion has the potential to make its next great heel a reality sometime soon. Fato has done more than enough during his relatively short time in WWE to convince fans that he could be a dominant world champion, more so than any of his Samoan brothers. If Ji Osu has done enough to convey, Cody Rhodes' match could add to excitement after lackluster build-up to WrestleMania 41. Claims Wrestling Veteran Hall of Fame wrestling journalist Bill Apter feels Cody Rhodes' WrestleMania match will intensify the build-up to WrestleMania 41. There is only one men's match announced for the grand event, with Ji Osu challenging Gunther for the World Heavyweight title. That WWE is on the road to WrestleMania. Ji Osu won the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble match and declared that he would challenge Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. However, Rhodes is